If you're a typical man and you're squeamish about periods, get over it, because periods aren't about women's bodies only. It's about women's health, and it's ultimately about women's education too. There's a non-profit organisation which is working to try and keep young women going to school through the menstrual cycle in a way that will improve their education, improve their prospects, and hopefully make a small contribution to improving the outlook for South Africa. Sandra Millar is head of a non-profit organisation. It's called Dignity Dreams. You're brand new. You've already been nominated by the Mail and Guardian for one of their awards processes. You're clearly making a big impact.
You know, Bruce, I've been in the non-profit industry for 18 years, and last year, at the end of last year, I had the opportunity to spend some time with young girls in Graskop, but really spend time. And we started chatting, and I asked school, boyfriends, homework, etc. And then I started skirting around sexual activity, and because I'm concerned. And I can't remember how the conversation went from there, but they told me that they're using socks, rags, newspaper, toilet paper for their periods. And the sad thing is also that most of them don't have panties either. And I drove home and I thought, you know, I'm a very intelligent woman. How can this be happening? I'm in the non-profit world, but I suppose it's just one of those aha moments. I went home and I did a lot of research, and a lot of pain also, you know, to get it going. And we started selling in May. In May, we actually started selling these bags.
I mean, men traditionally prefer not to talk about periods, prefer not to talk about sanitary pads. They're commodities that sit on the shelf in the supermarket, and as a bloke, you can push your trolley down and happily ignore them. The reality is that half the people in the world will have periods for a portion of their lives. Those don't need to be disabling as they might have been in Victorian times. Young women get embarrassed, so you then come up with a solution.
Yes.
Take me through that.
All right. So I priced sanitary towels at R1.50 per sanitary towel per day, and the average girl is needing 5, and they can't afford it. So but the product had to be soft and feminine and pretty. So we designed a very, very pretty product where the big benefit is we have flannels that is double, and you fold it 3 times, which becomes your pad. But the young girl can take it out of the shield that it's in, put it in a plastic bag until she gets home, and then wash it. And she's got 5 of those per day. The consequences are that we're finding that one family is using it, you know, if there are 2 or 3 daughters, which was also an unintended consequence. It's
an unintended consequence, yes. But the point is, there is a level of liberation which comes with the ability to manage your body through the cycle.
Correct. And then, you know, as it snowballed, we had UJ phoned, their students needed, mental health we've sold to. So, and those are fields I never thought about. I was targeting 2.1 million that I wanted to have made for these young girls between 12 and 18.
This is capital intensive. I mean, you need money. Where does the first money for this project come from?
Oh, Bruce, I have a brother who's a wealthy young man, not too interested in what I do. He says he's tired of me looking after forgotten people. And I've had lots of schemes. And when he saw it, he said, this one he'll back. This one he'll back. So thank you to my brother, who, and isn't it strange, a guy of all.
Absolutely.
Hey,
but
a guy.
How is this finding then acceptance in the corporate environment? Because it should be a fairly easy sell. You started off, you use Women's Month, I'm sure, and you did. Yes, and you raise consciousness. Have you got big appetite for the project?
You know what, Bruce? If I can, it's not a product that I can chat to people about, because they can't visualize.
Well, take it out the packet and show me.
They can't visualize that it is pretty, that it is feminine. They think I'm selling. I'm not sure. So when I find them, when I can sit with them, they're not embarrassed any longer, and they will. But I'm too impatient, you know. I don't. All right. So we've tried to make it as colourful as possible. We've also waterproofed the inner part for extra, you know, so that the ladies have just got a little bit of extra protection. We've tried to make them as colourful as possible. And here is the old-fashioned sanitary towel I was telling you about. This is 100% flannel that you now fold 3 times. The young girl puts it in here, into there, and we advise them that if they're near a flushing toilet, that the minute they take it off, to put it in the flushing toilet so that the worst stains. Otherwise, they can put it in these little plastic bags that we give them.
Apart from the physiological elements of this is a breakthrough in terms of young women's ability to be going to school for 22 days a month as opposed to 17 days a month. And that has got to be the biggest breakthrough, because this increases educational exposure by 15%.
You know what? I have compiled a very simple survey, because, you know, there's no point in giving it to these girls and we leave it there. So we go back after a month. We go through quite a lengthy process of telling them how to keep these things clean, these packs. And we go back after a month and we spend a lot of time in saying, how did you feel? How did your friends feel? And the only complaints I've ever had was that the bag is too big, because, of course, they want it. But while they tell me that, when I see them, they're walking down the street swinging it as though it's a fashion accessory, you know. So I am...
But this is a project...
It's my life's work.
But it's an evolution as well. And it's an evolution that could revolutionize the way people in poorer communities are able to become better educated over a period of time.
And I wish I could tell you that it's my idea. It's not my idea. I, you know, went onto the internet and I saw lots of different ways and I mixed and matched. But I want to tell you about the other consequence that I never thought would ever happen. I can't be in Grahamstown and Graafrenet, where I was last week, and I can't be in Graaskop. So we have now got ladies that are unemployed, and we're training the ladies to make these things, which was it was a consequence I never even thought. So I feel even better now, because not only are we helping the girls, but we're training women.
Dignity Dreams. We must leave it there. Sandra Millar, thank you so much for telling us the story of how she is helping revolutionize South Africa's education in a very unusual way.